Every day we're chasing the haves. If I could have the fancy position, if I could have the top producer distinction, if I could have $1 million, everything we do, we run out there with the dream mindset of, boy, if I could have this. But let me ask you this, man, if you did have it, could you even handle it? Susan Jeffers, in her book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, she writes, your security is not in what you have. Your security is what you can handle. See, can you handle if you did have it? So fill in the blank, and we'll just use money because that's a common theme, okay? If you had $1 million, could you handle it? Could you handle the responsibility that comes behind it? Could you grow it? Do you realize if you had a windfall of money, if you suddenly sold some sort of business, the windfall of opportunities that would come your way, people would have their hand out and want you to shell some of the good love out. Could you handle that responsibility? Could you grow it? See, because nothing stays cheap. Everything's getting more expensive. And so that responsibility and then also being able to grow it, could you even be able to do that? Take the money out of the equation, put a certain position in. You want a certain job position. You want this certain title. Could you even handle it? Could you? Could you handle the responsibility that comes behind it? So you think that you can just sit in a chair and boss people around. That ain't the case. Can you handle the behind the scenes of it? And can you grow it? Can you grow the people around you? See, your security is not in what you have, it's what you can handle. Chances are if you had whatever it is, fill in the blank, you destroy yourself. You probably self-sabotage yourself. The reason being is because you haven't changed your set point. And your set point, think of your set point inside, it's your subconscious. So think of it as a thermostat. So if you set a thermostat at, say, 72 degrees, then everything in that room is going to adjust to that set point, to that setting of 72 degrees. So as things heat up, things will cool back down, the air will kick on and cool it back down to that set point. That's the same thing in your life. This is why you see people that get a sudden inheritance or they get a lottery, they win the lottery. They end up as bad or not, if worse off. And the reason being is because they never changed their set point. So if you had a windfall of money, if your set point is here, but then all of a sudden you have all these accolades, you have the position, you have the money, you have the glitz, the glamour, whatever. If you haven't changed that set point, then what's going to happen is your subconscious is going to get rid of all that excess until it gets back down to at least that, if not worse. Your security is not what you have, it's what you can handle. So think of today, wherever you are, you may not have what you want, but can you work toward it? Think of today as a handling point. And all you're doing today, you may not have what you want, but what you're doing is you're changing your handle points. See, because if you have the handles, then you can handle the halves. If you have the handles, if you know how to handle it, then you can handle the halves. So when you do get to that point, whatever that point is, whatever you're working toward, when you get it, it's not an event, man. It's just happening. It just happened. It's a natural evolution. See, what you're doing today is training ground. It's training ground for your handling. So you've got to get yourself educated. You've got to get yourself more responsible. You've got to be able to see, how can I grow? How can I be more creative in the situation that I'm in right now? If I can handle today, then I can have it tomorrow. But then the other side, let's look at the other side. See, today is training ground for going up, but also look at how you handle it on the downslide. What if all of a sudden you worked all these years to get millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions of success, and then all of a sudden something unforeseen kicks in and you lost it all? Your security is not what you have, it's what you can handle. So if you lost it all, would you be able to handle that? That's why you see people that in their lives, they have it all, and you look at them, you're like, wait, why did they do that? It's because they didn't change their handle point. See, if you worked on the handle and then you got your halves, but then you keep working every day, even though you have it, can you grow it? See, you're growing your handles too. So that way, if you lose it and all the bricks come falling down, you can handle it. You can handle going back through it. You can handle rebuilding it because you handled it going into it. You handled growing through it. You handled it the whole way. You never let go of the handles. See, if you can have the handles, then you can handle the halves. So I'm going to leave you with this one thing, okay? You may not have what you want right now, but here's the thing. Your security is not in what you have. It's what you can handle.